Yo, what up, YouTube? What up, Dragon Disciples? What up, Shoguns of the studio? Your boys from Who's the Master are here. We're doing a live review of She-Hulk episode 1, just dropped on Disney Plus. I got my haters in the house. We got E over here. How you doing, E?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Ready to get into it.
All right, we got the technology master V-Dub in the house. How's it going, V-Dub?
Always awesome, bro.
All right, man. I had different intros for you. I was gonna say Ecclesi with 3Ks and Vince women belong in the kitchen dub. but I decided to go with the lesser of the two evils. All right, guys, let's get into it, man. Let's set it up for all the people that don't know who She-Hulk is, if any of you are out there. She-Hulk, of course, Marvel comic property. Originally, when they released She-Hulk, it was just basically female Incredible Hulk, right? They did the Savage She-Hulk. She gets angry, she gets mad, she turns to the Hulk, she can't control herself. And it wasn't doing too well. And so artist by the name of John Byrne came in there and he was like, he did two things with the property. He was like, first of all, let's make it the complete opposite of the Hulk. So where the Hulk can't control his transformations and hulks out and becomes this ugly monster, what if Jennifer Walters can control her transformations? And what if it makes her life better? Like, what if she goes from being this mousy lawyer to being the super sexy superhero, and she's able to control herself and live her life to the fullest and actually makes her life better. And the second big change is they basically they wanted to bring a comedic aspect to the character. A lot of meta humor. She was the first character to truly break the fourth wall, right? I know Superman technically was the first character to break the fourth wall by winking to the audience, but She-Hulk was the first one to break the fourth wall regularly and talk to the audience. And she was a pretty popular character, but not popular enough to ever carry her own series. But fans do love the character. And so I was interested to see what they did with this property as far as bringing it to TV. So let's go over to you guys first. Since I was a fan and I knew what it was going in, what were your thoughts?
Go ahead, E. I'll let you have it first.
we'll let him tell you to get in the kitchen in a second.
Yeah.
Marvel, it's a lighter tone. I didn't like it. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it's not something that I am going to walk into each week and just want to watch it. I will watch it, but that's just my initial reaction. Like, okay, this is just another Marvel product. Marvel seems to be going down this road to where this. I don't know, man. I don't know. What do you got, Vince?
In the words of Ansha Singh, I just watched a really, really long Cheetos commercial. The humor fell flat to me. I wasn't too excited going in, so I can't say they lived up to expectations. But yeah, overall, no, it's not something I can see myself. If not for the show that we do, I probably would be tuned out already. When I was watching it, the whole question I was asking myself is, what is the purpose of this show? Is it moving phase 4 along? Is it introducing somebody that's going to be a significant character later? I mean, probably the answer to both of those questions is no. I'm curious to know, what did you guys think as far as Marvel in general, this being one of the products that they have in phase 4, and how you feel about it almost being like standalone?
Well, here's the thing. I don't know about those questions about if she's going to be a major player in phase 4. I think this is just Marvel trying to do Ally McBeal with superheroes. That's always been their formula, right? Let's find a popular type of movie or show, and then let's turn that into a superhero show. So Captain America was that 70s spy thriller, right? Featuring Captain America. That's a great example. So I don't know. I know that most of the critics I've gotten to preview this have gotten to preview the first 4 episodes. So I'm curious as to what we'll see and think after the first 4 episodes. But yeah, episode 1 was fine. It was what it was. It didn't blow me away. I knew what the character was going to be going in, so there wasn't any surprises. And like, if somebody was going to ask me right now, hey, should I watch She-Hulk? I'd probably say no. I don't know. Maybe we'll see after 4 episodes.
She had the worst origin story I've ever seen. I'm like, damn, anyone can become a Hulk now. But then they kind of explained it like, well, our DNA is fixed this way, and I was just like, man, this is.
That's a true to comic origin story, by the way. The blood, it's a blood transfusion
in the
comics. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's talk about. First of all, let's talk about the hot topic that everybody wants to talk about. Let's talk about the CGI. What did you guys think of the CGI?
Hulk CGI was good. Hers, not so much.
Vince?
I didn't have a problem with the CGI. I mean, it wasn't until the end of the movie when Titania shows up with the bad wig where I was like, what the hell am I watching? But other than that, like Ecclesi said, hey, the Hulk came off looking better than he had on the small screen, just as well as he did on the big screen.
When was the last time other than that 70s TV show, I can't remember the last time he was on the small screen.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. He looked just as well on the small screen as he did on the big screen to me. I didn't have a big problem.
All right. There's a fight scene between the two Hulks. I'm interested in hearing what these two have to say about the fight scene, because I know anytime a woman lays a hand on a man, these two flip out.
Man, get out of here. See, like this dude, he's trying to make himself like he's this moral dude. He hates women beating up men. Just want y'all disciples to know that.
I've never hated on that. I've never hated on that.
Plenty of times.
All right, what did you guys think of the fight scene?
I mean, it's what I expected. They just can't have the Hulk stomp her head in. So, you know what I'm saying? So they had to make her, good. They actually even threw a line where she was like, I saw him better than you, So, I mean,
I was wondering what you guys were going to think when.
And did you catch the Hulk? He's jealous. She's outdoing him. Everything that you're doing, you do better than I do. Yeah. I mean, that whole storyline, we could throw that in the trash.
Here's the thing. I don't know if that's necessarily, other than the fact that her being stronger than him, that's kind of the whole point, is like, she doesn't struggle with being a superhero at all. She lives a good life. He does not, right? So that's part of the way they try to differentiate her from him, that and the humor. I don't know if that's going to last too long, because there is rumor that they're planning on doing the World War Hulk storyline. So I don't think that they definitively showed her as being stronger than him. But if they do World War Hulk, that'll go out the window soon. But, dude, I'm going to agree with my two sexist friends here real quick, because Marvel's got to be real character. They can't real careful. They can't just overpower every female character. Like you got Captain Marvel. She's the biggest badass in the universe. Fine, but if you're gonna make every female character always be stronger than every male character, you're just doing too much, right? You got to have, and it devalues properties that you don't need to be devalued. Hulk is more money than She-Hulk is, right? Like right. She-Hulk can make you some cash, but there's a reason you put that shit out on streaming. You didn't put it in the theaters, The only reason they haven't done that with Hulk is because the rights are tied up with Universal, so they can't release a Hulk movie. So they're having to have him guest star in all these other movies. Otherwise, they'd be making a Incredible Hulk movie like yesterday, right? So they got to be careful.
I think the Smart Hulk is a bad idea. This was the first time I kind of realized they've kind of painted themselves into a corner with that character, because part of the Hulk's draw is the fact that he can rage out at any time and he's completely unpredictable. You've completely taken that off the table with this iteration of the Hulk. What do you guys think about Smart Hulk? I'm kind of curious.
I never liked him. From Infinity Endgame or Avengers Endgame to now. I've never liked this interpretation of the Hulk. I agree with you.
Yeah, I love dumb Hulk in Thor Ragnarok.
Right.
When the whole interplay between him and Thor, when Thor's like, yeah, but we're both fire, and Hulk's like, yeah, but Hulk raging fire, and Thor small little flame, and I laugh my ass off of that line. I love that Hulk. And honestly, dude, most comic book fans, that's their favorite version of the Hulk, is that childlike Hulk, right? So you would think that would go over big with kids, and they'd want to keep that Hulk. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Nerd Hulk either.
I'm almost like, is Mark Ruffalo on his way out? Because when you start painting a character into a corner like that, and you got nowhere to go with him, and he's not bringing any value, and he's not bringing cheeks in the seat because he's not a draw anymore, what's normally come after that?
Well, in all fairness, we don't know if he's a draw because he can't ever do his own solo movie because of Universal, right? So maybe he's a draw, maybe he's not. Maybe he never was a draw. Maybe he is. Even
if you want to call him a B character, he was someone that we were excited to see. I'm not excited to see this Hulk. I'd see fight scenes with the Hulk, raging out in movies, and I'm like, oh, I gotta go see that. But when I see Smart Hulk, I do not say to myself, I gotta go see that. I'm like, yeah, that looks a little boring.
So
it's whack.
It's very whack.
And to bring it back too, honestly, you're right. They've already superpowered all the women in Marvel, man. It's crazy, man. Scarlet Witch, even though I know she's one of the most powerful people, Captain Marvel, I guess it's comic book accurate, but how the way they do it, they have to they're devaluing like Doctor Strange.
Scarlet Witch, they
down
did.
Their other A-listers.
Well, Scarlet Witch, they did. She became her most powerful. She became a villain, and then she died.
Yeah.
Right, and that's good. That's a fantastic story arc, right? Because that also does follow. It's true to the comics, right? When Scarlet Witch was at her most powerful, she became the big bad.
But look,
and I thought the way they do it,
though.
Yeah.
But how they're doing it is they're making they're taking their I don't mind them overpowering the chicks, but you don't have to depower
don't
your
need-
A-list stars to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
At the
I
expense.
agree. I
That's
agree,
where they're messing up.
100%. I agree 100%. You can't make her just own the Hulk all the time. And I mean, this one they played the fight up for laughs, and at the end, there's no
Yeah.
real clear victor, and it is what it is, right?
Well, he threw the rock into space. He was like, I just had to, it's basically saying
Yeah.
I had to
flex.
Yeah,
I had to flex on you a bit. But okay, so the breaking of the fourth wall, that's comic book accurate. But do you guys think it should have been brought over to the television? Do you think it should have been part of the storyline?
I want to give it a couple more episodes to see. If it's funny, then yes. If it's not funny, then no. You know?
If the writing is the way it was in this episode, no. Some of the dialogue, I'm just listening. I'm like, this is horrible, man. Like, come on, it can't be this hard to get writers. Not for Marvel. So I don't know, man. That's just my opinion. I'm hating on it hard because it, like I said, it wasn't trash per se, but it wasn't anything that could keep me interested at the same time.
It's too early. We only got one 30-minute episode, and it's the origin episode, so it was already going to be hampered by having to be the origin episode, right?
With a trash origin, the spaceship that conveniently comes out of nowhere.
There might be something to that spaceship, though.
I mean, there probably is. But I'm just saying, but how they did it was just ridiculous. And Hulk cuts his arm on a window, a shard of glass, and she gets like 3 drops of blood into her. I'm like, that's all it took. 3 drops of blood, and now she's as strong as him. A vampire needs more than that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but vampires don't have Hulk blood, Aaron. Hulk blood is different.
You know what I'm saying, man. You know what I'm saying.
What was your take, Anshul, on the humor in the episode? Because I thought it fell flat, but what'd you think? I mean, you're
chuckled
like
once or twice, and it was when I chuckled, I was like, "Am I just chuckling because I want to chuckle because people told me it's funny, or is it actually funny?" I couldn't even really tell you. Like, yeah, it's definitely not super hilarious by any means. I will say once again, I want to give it a couple more episodes, but by episode 4, if this not bumping, then.
The only time I really laughed was after the show, the closing credit scene talking about Captain America. That one got a chuckle out of me, but outside of that, I don't think I laughed at all. What about what do you guys think of that final scene?
Which one? Oh, the courtroom scene?
Courtroom scene, yeah.
Man, that fell flat, and that action was horrible. That punch she threw?
No, the wire work. The wire work where she was doing her kick and she's also sliding across the set. I was like, what is going on, man?
Yo, she threw.
Pusher.
I was looking like, did they run out of money in the budget? They spent it all on the CGI. What are we looking at here, man? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, Titania looked ridiculous. That punch he threw was like a karate punch, that you learn when you're getting your white belt. It looked horrible. And the camera work, the way they showed that punch where they zoomed in on her and they let her throw her punch out so it could you be right in front of the camera. And then you see Titania flying off. I was like, this looked like some shit a 4-year-old directed. Like, seriously, man. I don't know. That scene was terrible.
And she just pops out of the blue. I was like, she just pops out of the blue. You guys didn't give any build up for this whatsoever. It seemed like all of a sudden I'm watching a different movie. That's a different TV show. That's what it felt like for a minute.
Listen, right. She did just come through the wall.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I was like, why did she come through the wall? Also, why is it that easy to talk this chick? Her cousin, who's like been there before, is like trying to tell her, like, listen, it's not easy you think it is. You need to give this some time. Her friend just looks at her and is like, hey, could you turn to She-Hulk, please? I think it'd be kind of cool. And she's like, all right, bet.
Well,
let's do that.
Your shoes. Take my shoes.
Yeah.
Hold my shoes.
Yeah. I got you, fam. Watch this.
All right. So overall, what did y'all rate this Cheeto?
Oh, well, there's a couple things we want to talk about. That spaceship may be leading to something. It may be leading to World War Hulk. So they call it a Sicarian message ship, I believe. They had some other term for it, but basically a message ship from Scar. I've heard some people theorize that that's going to be something that leads to Hulk finding out he has a son, because that he does have a son in the comics. That's part of it, comes out of World War Hulk, and it may eventually lead to some events that lead to World War Hulk. World War Hulk is probably the best Hulk story in a long time that a lot of people want to see on screen. But I'm curious as to how they play it up, because, like, let's say it is Hulk's son. Are they going to play it up like a comedy where he's like, I have a son, and he meets the son, and the son's like some sort of degenerate, and are they going to play it for laughs? Or is it going to lead to a more serious story? I have to think the former, because the Hulk has kind of been about them jokes over the last few movies, ever since Hulk or Thor Ragnarok, you know?
I think you're getting your hopes up, Anshul, and you're going to be sorely disappointed because from what I've seen out of Marvel over the course of the last few movies, there's no continuity. I mean, sure enough, they take a little bit from the comic book. There's no continuity between these storylines. So I don't know how well they're setting up the next chapter at all. So, I wouldn't get my hopes up if that's what you're expecting.
Well, the spaceship, they're obviously going to pay that spaceship off somehow, somewhere.
Yeah, but son, and it's gonna be a comedy. But yeah, hey man, I think you're reading too much.
It's definitely whatever the
high.
reveal for that spaceship is going to be played up for humor, and it's going to have something to do with the Hulk. Because why is it coming to talk to Jennifer? Jennifer's a nobody at that point, right?
Yeah.
So it has some, and the Hulk spent time with Scar as the champion, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we saw him in the Chamber of Thor Ragnarok with a bunch of bitches. So.
Hey. Yeah.
Thor.
You are hoping for some cohesiveness.
He was
I'm out.
Marvel's just pandering to whatever crowd it can, whatever product they put out, man. They're not even trying to put out the best product anymore. It's just obvious pandering, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I was hoping it was better because I knew you guys were going to hate on it because it was a female lead, but I was hoping that I could have something to argue with you boys about. But at this point, one episode in, yeah, it's not anything to write home about. It's definitely not something. My brother called me and was like, "Hey, should I watch She-Hulk?" I'd say, "Why don't you hold up on that? Let me get a couple more episodes in before I tell you yeah or nay." Loki, I was in right off episode 1. Aaron, you didn't like Loki. Vince, you like
I don't
Loki.
like any.
I
haven't liked any of these Marvel TV shows, to be honest with you, man. Like everyone I watch, I'm just like, I just feel like it's this excessive product pushing to me. You know what I'm saying? It's like it doesn't. Like Vince said, what's the point of these shows? Is my whole point.
Well, Loki definitely had a point at the end. Loki's definitely, it's tying into a bigger Marvel universe.
To introduce Kang, I mean, they could have did that in, you know what I'm saying, in credit scene like they did Thanos, so we would have been all right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I thought they did a good job with that Kang character. So Kang's got a couple different versions of himself in that particular character.
We'll see. I watched a couple episodes of Loki and I was out. I mean, I understand why people like it, but it's just for me, it's just like, this is too much. This is too much for me.
But at least Loki pushed the plot along. They pushed the phase along. I mean, you're not getting that anymore.
Yeah. Did you watch? What episode did you watch till? I'm curious if you watched until female Loki started kicking some ass and then you were out.
Nah, dude, you can try to play this sexist thing with me. You're the sexist one. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, trying to pander to female fans to put this shield up that you're not a.
Hey man, are you trying to accuse me of virtue signaling for views?
Yes, that's exactly. You do exactly what Marvel does.
I'm not going to deny that. Marvel's made billions of dollars doing it. Why can't I have at least a couple thousand?
You just need to be a counterweight to Aaron's sexism. I agree on
we all know who the real sexist is.
Pleasing.
Yeah.
We all know who the real sexist is on this channel.
Yeah, if we're scoring at home, Aaron's not sexist. He's racist towards non-white people. Vince is the one that hates the females. All right.
All lies, bro.
All right. Well, we're going to give it a couple more episodes, though. So if you're an audience watching this, don't be out on it just yet. Like I said, the first episode hopefully is hampered by having to build an origin story, and we'll get some better stuff out of this. But early thoughts, not that great. I was worried, man. I was worried when it gets. You can't. This is one of the reasons we made this channel is because it's so hard to find an honest review, right? Critics automatically pander to the left. And so if it's got a female lead, you can guarantee they're going to give it high scores. And then the audience's reviews, especially on Rotten Tomatoes, are usually, your Make America Great Again, people that Aaron hangs out with on the weekends that are going on there and review bombing anything with a female lead. So you can't take the audience reviews seriously. And so, I just want to try to give something an honest chance, and let's really honestly think if it's good or if it's trash. But right now, I'm leaning towards trash on She-Hulk. I'm not all the way there, but I'm leaning there.
I don't think it's trash. I just don't think it's good. I just think it's whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? That's where I'm at.
Oh, it's trash. It's trash. I'm the first episode is trash. I have no hope for the second, third, and I think it's like 10 episode arc. I got no hope for any of them. I'm expecting trash on top of trash. It'd be great if they could surprise me and come out with something that to pull the rabbit out of the hat, and it turns out to be a decent show. Right now, I'm hoping for decent. I'm not expecting it though. I'm fully of the belief system that this is gonna be trash. You guys already pegged it. I've pegged it. Don't expect much.
Yeah, I'm unfortunately with you. I'm thinking decent is the ceiling. If it's decent, that's fine. Because as we're about to talk about what's coming out, we only got a couple shows coming out. Even the movie slate's pretty dry, so it might have been picked the perfect time to be released. Because we'll probably be invested for 10 weeks, and then when sports is fully in swing, and movies are coming out for that Christmas run, we would have had nothing to do with She-Hulk if it had come out during that time.
Even if you thought it was decent with that final courtroom scene, you'd have just called it trash at that point anyway.
Yeah,
even if right there it was treading water.
And you know what bothers me is they had to set it for a really good, powerful scene, right?
Yes, I agree.
That court scene could have been fire. It should have been fire. If E. Cleese was directing that court scene, it would have been fire.
Yeah,
right?
I would have did a little bit. I wouldn't have made it a comedy, but the best thing about this episode was the Eve song at the end, man. You know what I'm saying? It took me back to my high school, early college years. I was like, oh yeah, I remember she was a Rough Rider. But
yeah.
Telling your age there, E.
I thought it's like I was watching Jennifer Aniston, like a character from Friends become a superhero. That's how I felt the whole time when she was talking with her quips and quirks and all this stuff. And this is ridiculous. Chopsticks with Cheetos and things like that.
Well, here's the thing, and here's the thing where we might not be the intended target audience, because I know you and I were mad young. You and I were mad young when Ally McBeal was popular. Vince, you're much older than us, and you were probably
I was like 16, 17. Yeah.
Vince was in that wheelhouse of when Ally McBeal was slapping.
No, I never watched Ally McBeal. I've never seen one episode.
Ally McBeal's okay until Robert Downey Jr. left the show. Robert Downey Jr. left the show. That show went downhill fast. But yeah, it's all right show.
Coincidence that Aaron also, and I agree with you on this, Marvel hasn't been the same since Robert Downey Jr. left, and neither was Ally McBeal.
That's old. I was so old.
Let's bring it together. But Ally McBeal. Back in those days, I could watch pretty much any show just to kind of see how their writing styles were and stuff like that. It was a little bit different with TV, but I don't even get Ally McBeal. Ally McBeal was like unique. It was different because it was Aaron Sorkin who did that, I believe.
Yeah.
Aaron Sorkin did it. And, it was a new voice and stuff like this. This just seems like retired writers. You know what? Let's get to the next subject, man. I'm sorry, man. We're spending too much time on a show that you two think is trash and I think is decent.
Well,
sorry, guys.
Did you like anything about the performances? And then we'll wrap it up.
I told you it was like a character from Friends getting superpowers. So no, not really.
Okay, so you didn't think she did a good job?
Was kind of whack too.
What about you, Vince?
I was literally just trying to think. I was like, well, who gave a good performance? Let me think about it. And
there's mainly two people.
And I was like, yeah, I got nothing on that. I mean, Mark Ruffalo is going to be who he is. I'm not expecting, him to go too far outside of his character as far as what he's shown the Hulk to be, or what he's shown Bruce Banner to be, because that's really who he is now. Mm-hmm. So yeah, there was nothing there that required a lot of acting chops. So yeah, it's mid. I'm gonna steal a word from Anshul. It was extremely mid performances.
All right, so there's your first reaction on She-Hulk. Guys, I was really excited to do this live. I was hoping for a really good episode so we could come out here with some fire. Instead, you got some low-energy motherfuckers after watching that show.
They brought us down, America. Yeah. They brought us down.
Listen, we're old. We can't be sacrificing testosterone watching bad shows like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? That show just killed half my testosterone for the day.
Man,
there's nothing to be excited about with that show, man. You just
how do you watch the Incredible Hulk and come back and say that killed my testosterone? Just think about what you're saying with that.
Yeah, dude, the Incredible Hulk was my favorite superhero growing up. He's all repressed rage.
Oh yeah. We loved when Lou Ferrigno would Hulk out. Everybody loved it, right? Yeah.
Yo, you guys remember the Marvel Cinematic Universe that almost was with the Incredible Hulk?
Which one, the Ang Lee or the Edward Norton?
No, the Lou Ferrigno one.
No.
So Lou Ferrigno did TV. They did the TV series, and then it went away because of budget reasons. That's why the series went away.
Yeah.
So they came back 5 years later, and Marvel had gotten bought by, I think, New Frontier Cinema, something like that. And they wanted to do a Marvel universe. They wanted to introduce it through Incredible Hulk movies. So there were 3 made-for-TV movies.
Yeah.
The first one was Hulk and Thor, right?
I remember that. I actually saw that movie.
Yeah, the second one was the Trial of the Incredible Hulk that introduced Daredevil. And then the final one, I think they were going to introduce She-Hulk, but the company that owned Marvel ended up going through bankruptcy, and so they just ended up doing the Death of the Incredible Hulk. And I would rather watch those shows. I'd rather be reviewing those shows right now than this first episode of She-Hulk, especially the one with Thor. I remember thinking that one was fire.
when I was a kid. Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I thought it was so cool seeing Thor on TV. But yeah.
You
All right,
the-
let's
you like the. Go ahead.
go on. What were you
No, I
gonna
was,
say?
I was going to repeat what a joke you had said a long time ago, but I'll bring it up later.
All right. Let's
Another
move
time.
on to some other subjects. What shows we got coming out, fellas?
Cobra Kai and House of the Dragon are dropping within the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Dude, you know I'm psyched for Cobra Kai. I just did the reaction trailer to that. Let's start with House of Dragons, okay?
Yeah.
Because we were all. This is basically Game of Thrones is what made us friends. Aaron, you and I actually arguing about the Last Jedi made us friends.
No,
But-
no, don't lie to the people. The Force Awakens.
The Force Awakens. I'm sorry, you're right. The Force Awakens is what.
And who was right on that? Who was right?
Me. Oh, I was 100% right on everything.
Yeah, but
that
Aaron just
happened in
hated the movie
future.
because it had a female lead character. And
No, that's
Oh, that
not
sounds
why.
about right. Okay, I'm
No,
glad to
that's
know what
not
happened.
right.
Then. Okay.
I was 100% right on that, by the way.
Yeah, but you were wrong about Creed not being a remake of Rocky. You remember that?
No,
argument?
I didn't. No. I wasn't wrong about that. I just didn't care at that. I was too busy in my rant. I didn't realize you were trolling.
Yeah. So, but then we bonded over Game of Thrones. We got Vince. Vince was a latecomer onto that. He binged the entire series. Was it right before season 7 or season 8?
Right
Season
before
7.
season 7. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's why Vince. That's why he loved season 8 because he
He
didn't have
does.
anything invested into it. He's, come on, guys, it's not that bad. I want to hear that right now. I've been watching this since day one for years of my life, man. The hell with that. Yeah.
You realize people lie. I think I'm lying when I tell them I know somebody that likes season 8. They're like, get the out of here. Next thing you try to tell me is that Bigfoot exists. And we ain't
See,
falling for your shit.
This is how you guys mix my words up. First off, I said season 8 was an average season. It was average. It was just an average TV show. The thing is that
That's not what you said at all.
No,
that is
when
not
I
what
said-
you said at all.
No.
You
And I
lied.
said there were some great shows within season because I did enjoy episode 3, The Long Night. I did enjoy that episode. Episodes 1 and 2. I mean, it didn't advance the plot at all. It was just there. Episode 3, there was a highlight there in episode 3. But overall, yeah, was it a good season? No, it wasn't a good season. I mean, it was mid. The thing is, they set the bar so high in the previous seasons
You
that
said
everybody
it
was
was
disappointed. Yeah, it was mid.
mid. It wasn't
all-
mid,
trash.
dog. It was
It
trash.
was trash. It was
Now, see,
trash.
everybody wants to
It
call
was-
it trash.
No, it was
I'm not
trash.
calling it trash.
Yo,
I'm
yeah.
still going. It was a mid season. It was.
Yo,
It was a
it
I
was-
didn't like
trash.
the ending. I didn't like the ending. You know.
What did
know,
you like? What did you like, Vince?
Here's
what
the
did
thing.
you like about that last season?
Can I just say this, Vince?
Okay.
You're right. It wasn't trash, as in it wasn't a piece of trash. It wasn't even the whole trash can. It was a whole trash landfill, dog. It was
horrible.
a
Look,
city full of
It
trash.
was so bad that the directors, the dudes, they disappeared. They wouldn't go to Comic-Con. They wouldn't show up to
Yeah.
their own Q&A.
Star Wars took back
Yeah,
that.
people were pissed about it. People were pissed about it. But I'm just telling you, if you go back,
Every character,
I-
Jon Snow, who played the characters, all of them complained about the season being trash. But
Yeah.
but who likes it, Ansel? Vince.
I did
Yeah.
not say I liked. I just said it was
He does
an
give you a
average. It was
pass.
an average show. The thing is, the bar
Average.
had been set so high for Game of Thrones. I mean, if you had to compare that last season to the first episode of She-Hulk, I mean, I tell you, the last season of Game of Thrones was better than this episode of She-Hulk.
Because we knew
I-
the characters. But if
I mean, it's the
like,
first
if-
episode.
if that was
It's
the first
It's
season
the
of Game of
fumble.
Thrones-
It's the fumble that they did on the goal line that everybody's pissed off about.
No,
Like you
everyone's
told
pissed
me,
the whole
Aaron. Like
season.
you told me, you said, "Hey, they got everything lined up. There is nothing that could go wrong." That's what you told me. So for them to fumble on the 1 yard line like that, you ignore the previous 99 yards that
He
this
did say
drive
that.
went.
I was
agree
so
with you.
confident. I was so
Now you're so
confident. I was
pissed.
like, you know they can't mess this up, man.
They can't
You
mess
jinxed
up.
it,
It's
is
set
what
up. It's
happened.
perfect. Yeah.
You
so,
jinxed it is what happened. That's what happened. Aaron was like so certain. He's like, there's no way they can mess this up.
Dog,
He
I
jinxed
don't
it.
see how that, even to
Oh,
this day, they went out of their way to make that a bad season. If that season was the first season of Game of Thrones, we wouldn't even got a season 2 at all, bro. Everybody was like, "What is this?" It
Yeah.
was just every decision you can make wrong. Dude, they had a Starbucks cup in there. They had
Yeah,
a
that's
year.
when you
Think
really
about
don't
this.
care.
They took a year off, made it, and said, "Oh, we need an extra year." Remember, they took a whole year off, and then they made it the next year. So they had 2 years to make the show, and a Starbucks cup made it through editing. That
You
lets
can
know
tell-
everything.
In hindsight, you can tell they were getting sick of it because they kept saying the last 2 seasons are like, hey, this season's going to have less episodes, but the episodes are going to be longer. And then they would take that back. And it's clear to me now, looking back, that they were like, they went in and they were like, all right, we're gonna make these. We really don't want to make the series, but we gotta make it. All right, let's cut down the episodes.
Well,
Okay,
they
let's
didn't
just.
want the
have to.
Disney money. I thought they were going for the Disney money, right?
They were going for Star Wars money, but
Yeah,
the
they were
problem
going for
is
that Star Wars money.
the problem is
So-
their egos got so big that they could have handed off the writing or anything else. They could have did anything to fix it, but they just wanted to be in control. You know what I'm saying? It was ego, man, and now it cost them. It cost them. They spent all that time building up their reputation, and it just crumbled like a house of cards now. Because I don't want to see anything. If their names are attached to something, I don't want to see anything.
Yeah, we will get to that point, peeps, because we're going to talk House of Dragons. It's just this series triggers all of us. Trigger warning.
Yeah,
If I could put that up, I'd put it up.
It is a trigger,
You know?
man. It's a trigger.
Listen, once again, I will always say 2 mistakes, obviously, is not extending the series out to give us more of a reason for Danny to go crazy, right? And I think the biggest mistake at the end of the day is letting Arya kill the Night King. If you have Jon Snow kill him, first of all, it brings back audience expectations that you're going to have a happy ending so you can subvert them again. And then it gives Danny a legitimate reason to be jealous of Jon Snow because Jon Snow kills the White King. All of a sudden, he becomes the prince that was promised. All of a sudden, everybody starts, worshiping Jon Snow, and Danny can get, paranoid about that. And that gives her a legitimate reason to get paranoid.
I don't think there's anything they could have did to make that Danny thing go down during that season smooth, because no matter what, even let's say he killed the Night King, her dragons are the reason that he's alive. So how many times did she save that dude? She saved that dude like 4 or 5 times personally. You know what I'm saying? Like, she has no reason to be jealous of that guy.
Once again, though, you could, if you had more time, though, you could play that out. It starts with him killing the Night King, and then she slowly starts getting jealous because she gets paranoid because of that. And then you can also play up the crazy aspect of her, and then do some things to sow the seed.
So you're saying adding extra seasons. I'm just saying, because I think you're saying in that last season,
two things. One,
I don't think there was enough episodes. I think no matter what they did.
Well, that's what I'm saying. 2 things. Vince, the first one, or Aaron, is the first one is having Jon Snow kill the Night King. The second one is adding more episodes or a season, right?
Okay. No, I agree with you on that. I thought you were just saying that the season was the same.
No, there's 2 things.
They should have fleshed out the ideas. It looked like they rushed it, but in my opinion, as far as Arya killing the Night King, I probably would have liked to have seen Jon Snow do it, and I think they kind of fumbled the ball. I can tell you right now, the reason that so many shows are giving into fan service is directly related to Game of Thrones. Because Game of Thrones tried to throw that curveball and everybody just ragged on them for the curveball they threw, I think all of the shows that are coming out are just bowing down to fan service. So I don't know if that's good or bad, but I can tell you it's true.
I think Castlevania, Aaron, you and I love Castlevania, the animated series. That ending, though, is clearly influenced by the Game of Thrones ending. They're like, we are not doing the sad ending after Game of Thrones. Spoiler warning for those of you that haven't seen it. And they just gave you the happy ending to wrap it up, right?
Mm-hmm. I don't know about that, but I see what you're saying. I don't know if I agree with that, but I see what you're saying.
He'll be quoting me in about 2 years. Ansh will take credit for it. Oh, I said it right there. It's on the podcast. You need to go back and look at it.
What happened with Game of Thrones to me, man, and I've said this for years, is when Sansa got assaulted by Ramsay. That's when the show changed. That's when all the women characters. If you go back and watch it, the whole tone changed because that backlash was so out of control from fans. I was like,
what season was that? What season was that?
6.
Okay. Well, at season 6, that's also when that's as far as the book took him, right?
No, season 5, I believe, is where the book took him.
Which, by the way, he just released something teasing that he's starting to write the book again, and it's like, yeah, George, we'll believe it. We'll believe it when we see it, dog. You've been saying that.
Nobody's taking his word for
I think he finished the book, dude. I think he finished the book. I think the book is done. I think that he realized the backlash or what he saw. Is like, oh man, I gotta go change some things, and he doesn't know how to change it. But I think he was done, man. I think they knew the ending.
Well, he might not want the hate that the directors have got. Yeah, why release this and open myself up to be persecuting the media for the next 10 years?
He came out and said that the ending's different now. Before he would never say that.
Here's the thing. It's 2022. I think we've all realized that no matter what you do now on Twitter, if you're using Twitter to judge, you're going to get backlash no matter what. Right? And now people are using backlash on Twitter to benefit their own agendas. And so we've got movie review stations that all they do is look for reasons to hate on a property and say it's woke. Right? So, I mean, he's not going to win that battle. Let's say he wins and a female character ends up becoming the King of King's Landing, then all of a sudden you're going to have one group of people that are going to jump on it and say it's woke just so they can benefit off the hate views. And if all the females, if a female doesn't end up becoming the king, or the queen, right? Then you're gonna have the opposite effect take effect. So if
Yeah,
that's the reason he's
but
not
is
writing
that
the book,
true?
he might as
Is
well
that
just
true
not
in
write
Game of
it.
Thrones? Because at Game of Thrones, there was one point where all the women were running things and none of us cared. None of us cared. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Yeah,
Cersei running things.
Yeah, it's because
Yeah.
Hey, because Cersei earned that.
all those girls earned
That's
that.
the way we took that. Cersei earned that. She did that.
None of
She
us cared
deserves to
about
be
any of
queen.
that. None of us cared about any of that stuff. Yeah, Danny doing her thing. No one cared. What happened was that last season was just so god awful, bro. And I remember the first
what
episode.
you got to think about what makes people think it's awful is the betrayal of so many of the characters. You know, you built Tyrion up to be smart. He was dumb in the end. You built Jon Snow up to be the hero of the story. He was not that. Brienne
do a damn thing.
was sniveling. She's sniveling, begging for the Kingslayer, you know, and he had a redemption arc and just went right back to Cersei. Everything you had built for the last 4 or 5 seasons went out the window in like 3 episodes, and that's why everybody was looking like, "What the hell just happened?"
And just
here?
real quick, like not even dramatic moments. Like if he had betrayed Brienne for Cersei in a moment where they're all in a confrontation, that you might have been pissed, but it would have been a cool dramatic moment, right? But just to like out in front of the wall, yeah, I'm going back to Cersei. Peace out, bitch, and then leave. It's so anticlimactic. Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't bother me that he went back to Cersei. I actually preferred him going back to Cersei. It bothered me how they had Brienne's character look when he did it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, he's sniveling. Yeah.
That was such trash, man. And like, here's the thing, though. I will give Vince this. The first episode I thought was trash. Second episode I thought was trash. I mean, I tried to play it off like, okay, it's okay. But I remember even telling you guys the first episode, I was like, kind of worried about this, man. But that third episode, when we watched it, it was probably about me and probably about 6 or 7 people. The feeling that we had in our gut, because we thought everyone was going to die, like your heart was beating, the way it was building up, it was good. And when it first ended, I was like, yeah, man, it's good. And it was one dude, he was just like, man, I don't know if I like this. And we turned back around and rewatched it immediately. And then it just completely changed everything.
I remember my initial text to you. My initial text to you was like, that was awesome. That was one of the best episodes of TV ever. And you were like, yeah, bet. And we agreed. And I still liked it until it ended. And then I went back and now that you see that Jon didn't kill the Night King and then he ended up killing Cersei or killing Dany and then he ended up being completely worthless. You're like, yeah, that episode in retrospect does suck. Like, what was the whole point of Jon Snow in that series? I still don't know. Guys, let's talk about House of Dragons. All right.
Okay. Yeah, we can go on this one on hours.
Yeah. Okay. So what did you think of the trailer? Vince, let's start with you because I already know what Aaron's going to say.
We talked about this already, right? But go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
No, I mean, I'm pumped. I know you guys probably aren't as pumped as I am, but I'm excited. Come Sunday, I'm going to have my popcorn ready. I'm ready to watch this immediately. I'm hoping that they release it early, whatever it is. I'll be ready to watch it because the trailer got me. Hey, it's kind of like The Godfather. Every time I think I'm out, they pull me back in. I'm back in, baby.
All right, well, Vince, did you notice that during the trailer, the person in charge is a woman?
Was a woman.
Oh,
I love Dany on the original. I love Dany. How could you not love, Dany Targaryen in the first one? So, I love Dany, and I don't know how this one's going to play out because they didn't give you a lot in the trailer. Mm-hmm. But from just watching the dragons, and I'm fully expecting there to be a lot of money behind this and for these dragons really to be beautiful.
Yeah. And listen, that was something that Game of Thrones did not have advantage of in season 1. And this one definitely does. So, okay. So you heard it here first. Vince does not like women in charge unless they're white and blonde.
And
then I've been talking to you. He's all about it.
I convert you. Now, here's the thing.
You keep bringing them around.
You go back to our note review. The closer it gets, like I said, we go back to our note review. Me and Vince's positions have changed. He's like, I saw the trailer. I can't remember it. I'm not excited. I was like, man, I'm pumped. I can't wait for it to happen. And now that it's like 3 days away, I'm just like, But we'll see. I'm apprehensive. I can't let my hopes get up. How about you, Gonzo?
So I'm excited to see it. If it's well written, I'm assuming we're going to come here doing whatever reaction we do for the first episode and say there was a lot to like about it visually, but nothing happened. And that's fine because that's when Game of Thrones was at its best. That first episode of the season, nothing really happened, but you knew there were going to be a bunch of seeds laid that you would look back at the end of the series and go back and watch the episode and be like, oh man, there actually was a lot that happened. I just didn't know that all this was going to lead to stuff. So we'll be interested to see what they do with it.
Season of Game of Thrones, though, man, that's one of my favorite seasons. I love that season. But that's just me.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about like every season. The first episode though was really slow.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right. Yeah.
So
like
yeah, I'm
Breaking
assuming.
Bad. That Ancho has,
Yeah.
Ancho hasn't watched Breaking Bad, by the way, but yeah, it's like Breaking Bad does that the first
What?
episode of every season. Yeah, he
Yeah.
refuses to watch the show, and every time I bring it up, he cuts it out and edits it.
Actually, I might.
the
why?
They're
disciples-
about to take it off Netflix in January, so I think
the
I've been
disciples
doing it
can't-
as a
disciples
troll.
don't know about this, but I did it while it's live, so he can't escape it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
Well,
he won't watch
we
the
have-
show. He
We have
won't
0
watch the show.
viewers right now, guys.
Hey,
but
we'll post it. We'll post it.
I'm the one in charge of the YouTube channel, so
Hey,
don't be
hey,
surprised
hey,
if
hey,
you get
you
the sudden
gave-
edit.
You
If
gave
there's
me
sudden
access.
skip.
You gave me access. Yeah, you gotta resend it.
Yeah, I'm still the one that does the edits at the end of the day.
I'll try it. I give you cuts. But
So we also got Cobra Kai coming out, right?
Yeah.
Now that's something I know we're all excited about, right?
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. I can't wait for Cobra Kai.
Hey,
Cobra
you
Kai has
said
never
some-
let me down.
yeah, you're right.
But what do you think about the trailer?
This is the first trailer that didn't really get me too hyped. The teaser got me hyped though, so you can go back and watch the teaser. The trailer wasn't too excited about it, but it's Cobra Kai, so I know I'm all in. You know what I'm saying? I kind of think that they I think there's a lot going on that they didn't want to show in the trailer that they want to surprise us with.
So what about the trailer didn't you like, and why is it the Asian girl that you think should have been
God,
cast as
dude.
a white girl?
Whatever. I'm not even going to answer that. But you said something during the review that was interesting. So you thought that last season is the second best season?
Yeah, I did. I thought it was the closest thing to season 1. I like season 2. I know a lot of people that didn't like season 2 because they didn't
Really?
want. I thought it was good turn your brain off entertainment. I thought they did a great job with the characters. Stingray was hilarious to me. I thought Stingray was awesome. He was the dog of prey to season 2, not the bear. So, yeah, I like season 2, but I know a lot of people that didn't like season 2 that love season 1. I think the only thing different from this season and season 1 is that we have an obvious bad guy in the season, right?
Yeah.
Whereas season 1 you didn't. So, I don't know. What do you guys think about last season?
Well,
I
I
like
think
last season.
just give me more Johnny. I just love Johnny's character, man. As long as Johnny's on, I'm thoroughly entertained, and that's been since season 1.
Yeah.
So and when I saw Johnny and talking about the beer in the car, and it's supposed to,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's because it is beer.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
I mean,
Johnny's-
just give me more of Johnny doing that, and I'm a-okay, man. He may be one of the top 5 characters on television right now. Period.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's an
He should be
interesting
nominated
list.
for an Emmy. I've always said that he should have been nominated for an Emmy for this role, man. Because if his role doesn't work, the whole show doesn't work. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But
Now, do you like Johnny because, like you, he also can't work technology?
he feels the
Hey,
same.
Is it
man,
kindred
Johnny has the
spirit?
lines, man.
it
Johnny
kindred
has the
spirit?
lines. Nah,
He
Johnny
does.
just has the lines, man. That's all I'm saying. And he pulls them off. And what's his name? Shotwa? What William? What's his last name?
William
Zabka.
Zabka.
Shotgun.
Zabka,
Yeah. I mean, that dude is hilarious, man. And if you see him in anything else, he's so different than he is in this role because he's been playing the jerk for years. So
Yeah,
watching
the
him
William
now,
Zabka trilogy.
I love it, man. I love it. I love every moment he's on the screen.
Well, what is his trilogy? So we got Old School, right? Or back
that
to
was
school.
Bradley Cooper,
Back to
wasn't it?
school. Back to
Okay,
school.
yeah, back to school. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then what was the third movie of that trilogy, the William Zabka bully trilogy? Was it
I'm
Revenge of
not
the Nerds?
Was he in Revenge of the Nerds?
I don't know.
No,
that was
no,
Jefferson.
that was-
that was
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jefferson
that
from
was
Married with
old
Children.
boy. Yeah, that dude from Married with Children. That's right.
Yeah, there's another movie in there that I can't remember what it
Ted
was. But
McGinley, that was his name.
yeah.
Bradley Cooper became the new William Zabka. You know what I'm saying? That's why you said Old School because
Yeah.
he's in those movies. But I don't know what the third one is actually.
We'll have to look that up. We'll have to look
Was
that
it,
up. Maybe we'll go back and review that movie.
Well, I know we're all pumped for it. I know. When it comes to House of Dragons, I'm pumped. I'm excited. But you know what it starts to remind me of? And I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan, so every season ends in a disappointment. So you come off of a disappointing finish, and then you pump yourself up, and by the time the next one rolls around, the next season rolls around, you're all happy and excited. You know what that's like, ain't Anshul? And so
Yeah,
House of
I'm the
Dragons
one
same
that
way.
tries to tell you every year it's gonna end in disappointment. you buy in every single time like a dummy, and then
Hey,
you're the
man,
one.
Jerry
I-
sells
By
me,
the
man. Jerry
You
sells me. I
found a
don't
way
know
to
why
get
he
the
does it
Cowboys
to
in
me.
here, huh? Yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited for Cobra Kai, and I'm actually excited for House of Dragon too.
Yeah, that's
but-
good.
Just-
What about you, Anshul?
Just One of the Guys is the third movie of the William Zabka trilogy.
Oh yeah, that little brother, that was hilarious, man. That's one of the best
Yeah.
little brothers on TV history.
What was it? What was the question, Vince? I'm sorry.
As far as House of Dragons, I didn't catch your take. What was it? Excited,
Man, yeah,
not excited?
listen. The trailer looked good. It was a little opaque. It was a lot going on. I thought visually it looked awesome. I thought the Targaryens looked much better because they're in the book. They're supposed to have white hair. Of course, the closest you could get was blonde. But now they got the budget for some nice wigs, it seems, because the hair did look definitely white, and the Targaryens looked otherworldly almost. They looked very different from everybody else in the series, so I kind of like that. And the dragons look great, which is like I said, Game of Thrones season 1. Luckily, the dragons didn't come in there till the end because they would not have the budget to pull that off. And so,
Hey, what do you
they
think
definitely
about
got
the race swapping option?
oh, well, I'm all right with that.
Well, I just wanted to make sure.
I'm all right with
upset.
that.
There's a lot of people upset about that out there.
Your people are upset. That's what you mean. He said a lot of people. He's like, my friends.
You've never seen me complain about brothers being put on the screen ever. Y'all can say whatever you want to say. Only time I complained was that, they put a Mexican instead of an Asian girl on the screen. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he doesn't like Asians in roles, but
Lord, man. Come on, man. Who's my favorite actor of all time?
Yeah, as long as he stays in those Asian roles in China, you're all good with him. Stay where you belong in China, then everyone's all okay with it. When you start coming over here to America, you got problems with it. You and your flu
That's
too.
Hilarious, bro. Oh man, you a fool, man. You a fool.
All right, guys, we've been on here for 46 minutes.
Yeah.
Hopefully you enjoy this live stream when you come back and watch it, because I know you're watching it with us. But that's okay. We know you'll be here in the future. We're building blocks. Hopefully, like She-Hulk's building blocks, because if it's not, after episode 4, don't be expecting another one of these. We're gonna give 4 episodes. I don't know if I can take much more, and I damn sure know I can't talk these guys into watching more than 4 episodes of a female lead series. So if it don't get good, this is probably the last one you can get. But we got more stuff coming. We got Cobra Kai. We're definitely gonna be doing live reactions for that, right, fellas?
Oh
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
no doubt.
And the House of Dragons. So we'll see you back on Sunday. We'll do live reactions for House of Dragons. And until then, peace out.
Peace. Who's the master?
Like and subscribe. Comment.